Hi everyone, this is Cus Fragoso and I'm here with Cheryl Mitchell.
Hi.
I really was looking forward to this talk with you because we met at an event.
Yes.
And I really we did a really great connection. We have a lot of topics in common.
Yes,
and
we do.
I was really interested to see what you're doing. So why don't we start by you telling us a little bit about you?
So I have a company called Ashara Phoenix, and I specialize in using essential oils in a spiritual way. So basically, I'm going to help people tap into their higher self. I help guide them through using essential oils in meditations and basically just really bringing them into a daily spiritual practice.
Okay, first question, and considering that I don't know who's listening to this, but when you say that can sound like a little bit, I mean, does essential oil really help with that?
How do they help?
I believe.
So essential
can
oils.
You explain a little bit more?
Absolutely. So essential oils come from nature. Nature is energy. Everything's energy. So when you connect into essential oils, they actually have chemotypes in them that help balance stress, relax. They help you focus. So there's not just a spiritual side to them, but there is an actual physical and mental aspect to using essential oils. And so I found the connection where I can bring them in for also, though, different spiritual practices. Not only are they helping you calm down and relax, but at the same time, certain ones kind of help you connect to different elements of spiritual nature.
How would you define spirituality in that context?
How would I define it?
Yeah.
So I define it as becoming one with yourself and becoming one with your faith or your beliefs. So it could be universe or source or God or whatever your belief is. It doesn't have to be one specific belief. It can be where your faith lies, and it helps you connect deeper into that faith.
So it could be more like connecting to your surroundings, with people, with yourself, with your beliefs. So being more integrated with everything.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely. Just kind of
so
digs it deeper for you.
Yes, in the world. Okay.
Exactly.
So if essential oils have an effect on you, I mean your body and your brain, then you will be able to function better. Is that what you're...
Yeah, it just kind of helps you connect to things better. A lot of people use them in classrooms and, it helps students focus. But the thing with essential oils is there isn't just one that does one thing. People connect to them differently. So where maybe frankincense is great for one person, it's very calming, helps you connect to a deeper level, to your own higher self, but it may not work for the other person. So essential oils really help you, I guess, find your own spirituality, and they morph with you. So everybody has a different connection with each essential oil.
Okay, and explain a little bit, how do you started doing this, or where did your interest from that came from?
So in 2014, I started studying to be an aromatherapist.
Okay.
And I went through the practice. In 2016, I started studying Reiki, which is an energy healing modality. And I became a Reiki master teacher certified and all of that. And then I started different businesses over the years, and I kind of put all that to the back seat. And then I found that I personally was using essential oils on a more spiritual level. I was using them to be able to meditate and focus, because my brain likes to just go in a million directions.
Not only your brain.
Right.
Yeah, everyone's.
Exactly.
Right,
so it just helps me kind of find a focus point. And then it allowed me to help also work with other people with Reiki and doing oracle readings and things like that. So as I expanded my knowledge base, I basically dug a little bit deeper in bringing those past educations that I had. I, did the herbalist route, and that became a daily practice in our lives with teas. And I realized that just overall health-wise, bringing these nature modalities into our lifestyle helped.
Okay, so you said something very important that's, well, at least to me, that's very, very important, the brain. It goes 1,000 miles an hour, and mine is crazy. And I think we live in an age where we are saturated by stuff. So what you just said is very important, because if you can have a tool, I mean, essential oil, meditations, you can
Yes.
tell me a little bit more, and you can calm your brain down, make more space for whatever you're doing in your life. You will improve your relationships, you will have better results at your job, your business, whatever you're doing, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, sometimes we don't really stop to see what can I do. I mean, we complain a lot, right? As human beings, we complain a lot, but we don't really try to find solutions or tools to make it easier.
No,
right?
and we don't. But we also try to think, oh, is there just one fix? And unfortunately, there isn't. But you can find something that will help you connect easier. And when it becomes a part of your practice, you can incorporate different things into your daily practices. And I'm not talking just on a spiritual level, just take a moment to take a deep breath. Well, when you bring those essential oils in, it helps focus that thought, helps focus those breaths. And then that in turn helps focus the brain.
Yeah.
So there's different steps you can take and there's different things you can use. But I found my specialty was with blending essential oils and finding the connections through people and essential oils is what I found over the years.
Something very interesting. My son, he's 6 years old. He's in a great school, Acton Leadership Academy, and they have these big studios, and he's with kids from 6 to 8, about 6 to 8.
Okay.
And I was very surprised because when we went like 2 weeks ago to the studio to an exhibition, they have a space in a corner with a really, I don't know how you call this, like cushion.
Yeah.
Well,
a relaxing space.
A relaxing space, and they have essential oils for the kids.
Yes.
And they know what color to use depending on the emotion they're feeling. Like
I love that.
They are sad or if they are upset, or they know which one they are going to use.
They've color coded them.
They take their time and they come back to work.
I love that.
And I was like, wow. I wish I had learned that at school. You know?
I do too. I feel that there's so many tools out there that aren't being used. And with so much bombarding us with social medias and phones and TV and streaming and all the things that are out there, we don't take those few minutes to just disconnect. And then when we do disconnect, we don't really know what to do with ourselves. So that's something that I found. And I'm so glad that they do that. And I'm sure they use like orange, which is uplifting, or they use lavender, which is calming. So they're using kid-friendly ones. Sorry, we do have a cat that's going to come and join us.
I shouldn't.
That's Destiny. Yeah, don't touch the cat.
I'm allergic to cats.
But yeah, so I love that that's what they're doing, because it's helping our younger generations really find a way to self-regulate themselves and have their own self-care.
Yeah, and sometimes we don't want to stop.
Yeah.
Because we live, especially in a country that you have to be productive. And it's like, I cannot stop. I mean, if you stop a little bit, it will be easier. You will get better results, right?
Absolutely. You become more productive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you are also a book author.
I am.
Tell us a little bit about your books.
So I have transitioned from a maker world where I've published books on how to make like bath and body products.
Can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
I can. Basically, I'm a cosmetic chemist by trade. So I have created lotions, shampoo, conditioners, soaps, things like that. And I have published books throughout the years on that. And I found that it brought me a little bit of joy, but it didn't bring me the full joy that I was looking for. And that's when I realized that I really enjoyed what the aromatherapy side brought. And I've published aromatherapy books over the years too, and they just didn't quite hit where I wanted them to. So I found that bringing that spiritual side into it for people is where we're connecting. And that's where my purpose fell, is bringing that expertise of the years. And I may jump back into that realm eventually, but on a more spiritual side, more of a how to balance your products also with scent, not just here's the chemical way we do this.
Okay.
Here's the exact formulations. And that's something that, and I've helped thousands of makers create their own businesses in creating products and then helping them on a business level. But I just didn't find that joy that I wanted. And so I made the transition.
So you have a lot of experience on cosmetic, chemistry, aromatherapy, but now you found your calling with the
Yes,
aromatherapy, right?
I did.
And
over the years.
What is it that connects you so much to that, and what would you like to do now, or how would you like to contribute?
We have traveled all over the US. We have gone to all kinds of amazing places and for my husband's work. And during that time, I just kind of stopped enjoying what I was doing. And the more we got into nature, the more I tapped into the knowledge that I had with essential oils, and I felt just a calm peace about it. I felt more connected to it. There just comes a time when you have to say no to say yes. And that was me saying no to something to open up something else. And I guess that became, over the years, I guess I kind of went through an eat, pray, love type of phase in my life where I just wasn't finding the joy. So I had to like Marie Kondo things and get them out. And that's where I started finding that the more I used essential oils, the more I started meditating, I started taking more Reiki classes. I started really connecting on that more energetic level. And I found that joy again. I found that love. And so, yeah, so I found more for my destination, as we learned.
Yes.
I can see my destination now. And now I'm on that path to get there.
Okay. That's very, very important, and probably a deeper question about this. Because sometimes we just get involved into the everyday activities or what we do or what we are used to do. But as you said, there's probably that calling or that something that you're like, oh, I would like to someday just do that. Or if things were better, or if this happened, I would like to do such and such, right? So
Yes.
How did you, I mean, you already talked that, I believe, huge step, right?
It is.
How was it, if you, I mean, whatever you can share emotionally or to make that transition? Because I guess it was not easy.
It's not. It hasn't been. I still struggle. There's the days, oh, what if? What if I was still doing this? What if? Those gremlins creep in. But in the end, I truly know it aligns with what I want to do in life, and that's to help other people find that connection through nature. So, I mean, the energy's there. We just need to harness it, right?
Yeah.
But we want to harness it in the right way. And that's when I'm in alignment with what I'm supposed to be doing, I feel right about myself. And
You feel more alive.
I do. I feel more alive. I feel that connection to people. I attract the right people. And that's something that I wasn't doing because I wasn't in alignment with what I was doing. And I think that's not just when you're an entrepreneur. I feel that when you're in a regular job. I mean, a job is a job. It pays your bills. But if you're truly not in alignment with it, there is no peace, there's no happiness, there's no fulfillment that you're getting out of what you're doing. So be it as an entrepreneur or a W-2 type daily job, you have to at least find a peace within it to find some fulfillment.
Yeah, I guess at some point you will have to remind yourself that you're here because you want to have a life.
Yes.
You want to live. It's not just about working and getting stuff.
Yes,
right? Because,
absolutely.
So how do you forgive yourself for the what ifs? You know, because it happens, and when you make a transition, it's like, oh, I had this other option. I could have stayed doing that. So maybe probably this is in the process. I'm in the process of a few myself, but
absolutely.
I mean, if you could tell us a little bit whatever's in your mind, what do you forgive yourself for those options that you didn't take or that you let go?
It's hard. It is hard. And I struggle daily. I absolutely struggle daily because I had a good business, but then when I wasn't aligned with it, I saw the numbers start to fall. And at one point I had to look at the numbers. Numbers don't lie.
Ooh,
and
that's
they're
numbers
hard.
versus emotion.
Yeah,
Right?
numbers versus emotion.
Ooh.
And you can't always work in your business. You have to work on your business. And when you can no longer work on your business because the numbers don't make sense and you're just trying to be in it every day and you're giving so much to it, I think that you forget about all the other things. Those gremlins are driving you to just be in that business, but you forget and you stop seeing the reality of what your business is doing or your daily job or whatever's in your life. Mm-hmm. So you have to step back, which is not easy. Stepping back and trying to get a bird's eye view of what you're doing to make sure everything is in alignment. And when you just have that one piece in the middle, that's an alignment, and everything else is floating everywhere, it doesn't work. It won't work. There is no positive outcome that can come from that. So what I do daily is I tell myself, I have to remind myself that I have to be happy in what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And if I'm not in alignment or I'm not happy, I get bitter. And when I start to feel bitter about something, and that falls into my human design, and there's other things you can look at in your life, but bitterness is my key go-to when I'm not in alignment with something. And when I start to feel those feelings, I have to stop and take a look at that outside and what's floating around for me, and how can I bring it all into that linear view for myself. And when I do that, the reality clicks, and that's when I have to make those hard decisions. Okay, does this really truly make sense for what I'm doing? And I'm in the middle process of doing that right now. And the amazing thing is, I just came off an amazing weekend with like-minded folks at a conference, and opportunities opened up.
Right.
Because I said no.
Wow.
I said no to something, and I'd been fighting with it for weeks. I really shouldn't be doing this. My love is over here. Well, as soon as I said no,
wow,
people came to me. Oh, I heard you do this. I would love to work with you. Okay, well, let's talk. You, for instance, we met at an amazing conference of like-minded people, and I had just said no to things in my life.
Right.
And it opened up. So when you can say no, you say yes to other things.
I completely agree. It's not easy.
No, it's not.
But I believe it was Steve Jobs who said, or who used to say a lot, how many things did you say no today? So I'm not sure if it was
close,
him, but
yeah. That's
something like that, because, and that's not easy.
No.
Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom to be there, but
and I've been there too.
Ideally, let's not wait for that. Right?
Absolutely. But I mean, also, don't be afraid that you hit rock bottom. There's only one way up at that point. You're not going to stay on the bottom. You have that drive within you to want more, to be better. So be better.
Yeah. That's
my husband always says, tighten up. But he's not wrong. You have to make that personal choice. And it's hard. And
once you make the decision, you have to commit.
Absolutely.
Right?
And that is a daily struggle for me, for you, for everybody.
For everyone.
Committing to yourself every day. You can commit to everybody else, but can you commit to yourself?
Yeah, I would love if you can tell us a little bit about essential oils, but first, more kind of like a personal question, because I do see we live in a world that most people, or a lot of people, is trying to appear that everything is great, and especially in social media. And I've learned not to do that anymore, or I'm learning. And I see that you're really casual and honest about, hey, I struggle, I make mistakes. And probably it looks like a simple thing, sorry.
Yeah.
But what's your philosophy behind that? Because I think that's something that could be very, very valuable. How do you
yeah.
really show yourself vulnerable and don't care about it?
I didn't used to. I used to have to be the highlights. I used to have to live the highlights. Oh, if I'm not perfect, Pinterest perfect online, people aren't going to hire me. People aren't going to want to work with me. They're not going to see me because I'm flawed.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like I said, I kind of went through this whole look in the mirror and I didn't like who I saw. I didn't like, and nothing was aligning right either. And I was starting to feel sad. I would cry. I mean, there were just so many struggles that problems in my household, problems with my children. And I realized it all kind of came down to me.
Mm-hmm.
How was I giving myself to my family or my clients or my social, my I used to have a huge YouTube channel. I shut it down.
Wow.
I deleted it all because
Wow.
it didn't align with who I was. And I was trying to be somebody else. And I had read some books, and I mean, I have a lot of books and I read a lot of them. And what the main point that came out of it is being authentic.
Yeah.
And authentic is being so overused at this point, but really being
Yeah.
your true self. And when I met a really good friend, a woman who is my Reiki mentor, Carrie, and she really helped me see that your true self is who you are that day, who you are in the moment, in the now.
Mm-hmm.
And that resonated really deep with me because you may be somebody else in the morning. You're grumpy, you're whatever, don't talk to me before I have my coffee kind of thing. But then you find that throughout the day, different people interact with you and you can still be your true self and be authentic, the key words authentic. But until you feel right about yourself and you're okay with portraying who that person is, you're never going to align with the right people.
Yeah, I think we humans come with it's a whole package. Is getting angry, getting sad, happy. I mean,
yes.
You cannot be perfect all the time, right?
No, there is zero people that are perfect. Those people fake it till they make it. But guess what? They don't ever really truly make it.
Yeah, especially when you do something that is related to spirituality and they are like, oh, do you get mad?
Oh no.
Oh, how is it? How are you going to give me Reiki if you you're having some trouble yourself? You cannot, that kind of comments, I think they're
true.
Common, but we are humans.
That's exactly right. And people forget that we're human.
Yeah.
You're going to make mistakes. You have to have grace for other people and the things that they're doing because everybody has a struggle. It may seem so small and insignificant to you, your struggle to me, but it's huge to me or it's huge to you. And everybody's struggles are on a different level, but they're still huge to them. Yeah. And when I was able to see that, not only about myself, and again, a struggle I have every day is finding that worth, that value in myself. Oh, why is someone going to listen to me? I'm really not worthy of this. You have to be able to find that space, not only to hold yourself, but then to hold others and help them through what they're going through.
Yeah, and when you see someone that is very imperfect, and then maybe you can find a gift in that person if you allow yourself to get to know that person, because we all have something valuable, right?
Absolutely.
And tools help as essential oils.
Absolutely. Well, and just meditation and friendships. Finding connections is what it's all about. It's about finding those connections. And then when you do get that connection, making sure that you, harness it and really keep it going.
Yeah.
So it's not just one way.
So in that context that we live in a complex world today, can you give us a few examples of what essential oils, like the most basics?
Sure.
And also I would like to know what to look in an essential oil. I mean, quality, what kind, without saying brands, or you make your essential oils? I do not, no. You do not, but you create...
I create blends.
Blends.
So the reason I don't make my essential oils, I do have a still. I have a copper still that I could do the process, but it takes about 1 pound of plant material to make 1 to 2 drops.
Yeah.
So it's not For anybody that says,
That's
"Oh, I make," unless you have a huge farm and you're
that's not your
harvesting,
business.
it's not my business. It's nobody's business,
Yeah.
honestly. It's where they grow. Also, there's a lot of essential oils that cannot be distilled after they've shipped. They have to be distilled, pulled, ylang ylang or ylang ylang. They harvest it in the early morning, and then boom, it goes right to the distillery. So there is no shipping time like you can. There's a little bit more time with lavender and other plants, but honestly, you want to find a company that is working direct with the distilleries, so there's not a lot of middlemen in between. And there's a couple of really great companies out there that are online that are not super duper expensive. It's not high quality, does not mean so expensive it's not affordable anymore. There's very great therapeutic, which honestly there is no such thing, a governing body for therapeutic. And that's the other thing, is just knowing essential oil safety. When I went back to study it, I really studied hard, and Robert Tisserand is one of the leading experts in essential oil safety, and I've taken his certification classes, I've got his books, I've really made a point to understand the safety and the things that can happen when you use essential oils. I do not ever recommend internal drinking essential oils. They're for external only. Use them in a diffuser, put them in an oil. I very rarely use them straight or neat. I always break them down into some type of oil or into the diffuser, or in sprays. I do a lot of sprays. But there's, you don't want to just drop them into your bath. So there's a lot of different things that people don't think about in the safety realm. But
can you tell us a little bit more of the most common ones?
Yeah. So
for the daily use?
Yeah, my favorites are frankincense, lavender, orange, ylang ylang. I really love clary sage. So those would be like my top 5.
Okay.
Frankincense, because it has, one, it's been used in the Bible. It's been used in religion for centuries and centuries and centuries, a millennia, right? But mainly because it's an essential oil that transitions with you. If you're needing it for a more spiritual level, it will transition into that for you. If you need it for relaxing or a deeper connection, it kind of transitions with you. It has the most spiritual ability to help you connect to your deeper self. Orange, I love, because one, you can blend all of these together. Citruses are great. You have to use a lot more of the citruses because they're top notes, so they evaporate quick. But they're joyful. They bring that sunshine, that light, that happiness. So you're feeling down. Put a little bit of orange. That's why hospitals use it. Not only is it a disinfectant, but it brings joy. It brings that brightness that they're wanting. And I know they probably didn't even think about it back then, and when they first started using it, because it's really a disinfectant. But it does. It brings that. It takes you out of the doldrums. I'm so sad.
When you use frankincense, when do you use it the most?
I use it the most when I'm meditating, when I want to get that deeper connection. I will blend it with orange and clary sage. Clary sage is phenomenally grounding. It really helps you connect and find that, put your feet on the ground and feel like you're in one space, versus frankincense kind of helps you connect to the higher. Clary sage brings you right back down to earth. And then orange brings you, so you could do like a 1-to-1-to-1 ratio, 1 drop of each in a diffuser. And it just kind of helps you bring in all around, brings you just into one place for your spiritual practice.
We're gonna, I'm gonna add your information.
Sure.
So people can reach out to you, because I'm sure there will be some that will have questions or will want to get some of your products. I'm right now I'm working on publishing an oracle deck that's surrounded around essential oils. And it gives you activations and affirmations. It also gives you some keywords to look into. But in the booklet, it also gives you, for each, it's 36 essential oils. It gives you a blend that goes with each one, with like a small meditation or some type of an action to take with that. And you don't have to have every essential oil. You can just pick the ones you have. I have this essential oil on my counter. I want to find that card. I want to read about it.
how can I bring it into my daily practice?
That's going to be great.
So yeah.
When is it going to be out? You know?
I'm hoping for an early 2025 Kickstarter.
Okay.
So that we'll see if that hits. I'm still in the editing phase, as you fully understand.
Yes,
So
I understand. Okay. So any more advices, thoughts that you want to say about the world? What's happening right now? What advices or comments do you have for people to make a better life?
I think just find your true self. Really stand in your own power and know that you are only what you bring.
How do you find your true self?
How do I find my true
Because
self?
that sounds complicated. But
You know,
I don't think it's
as complicated as we
Yeah.
want it to be.
Yeah.
Really, it's just acting in your own, in a way that you feel comfortable and not being afraid to be who you are. I think that is the biggest thing that I find, is that people are afraid to say, oh, I do this. I found it this weekend at this conference. I introduced myself as just an author. Oh, I'm an author. I'm an author. And I was afraid to say what I do more of. Welcome to interviews in my household here.
It's okay.
Between kids and cats, that's what you get.
That's
But
life.
that's, I'm gonna say, that's life, and this is my true self.
Yeah.
I try to be so picture perfect, but honestly,
No.
it doesn't work that way. So
Life is not like that.
it isn't. And that's where I see all these highly, edited videos. And that's one thing that I really try not to do. I try to show up
Me too.
in my TikToks, in my YouTube. And I started this all over. Like I said, I shut down a whole paying me industry to really work into something that I feel connected in. And I'm like anybody, I'm starting fresh again, and I'm growing my socials, and I'm growing my connections. But this time around, it's not about the numbers.
Yeah.
It really isn't. I used to be a numbers person.
Mhm.
And when I let that go, when I let that noise go, I'm finding the true people that want to connect with me, and what can I learn from you? What can you learn from me? And it's a give and a take. It's not just a take.
Yeah.
So
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell us?
No, I mean,
No? Thank you very much.
yeah, I appreciate you doing
So-
this.
We have to learn how to say no.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Let's say no and find your true self.
That's my main message, I
I
think,
hope
yes.
people found this interesting, inspiring, and let's hope there's more interviews with you. When you get your
Absolutely.
deck, it will be great to
Well,
talk about that.
thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to come all the way down
Thank
to
you.
see me and do this. I can't wait to see the things that you have coming out
Yeah.
too soon. So
Hopefully. Okay.
fingers
thank you.
crossed.
Okay. See you soon.